Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Amazing Race recap show. We're going to be talking all about the episode of Amazing Race. We're back. Look, I'm nervous. We haven't done this in years. And you all keep saying, we want an Amazing Race show back. We want an Amazing Race show back. Well, you got it. So, we will be normally doing these shows on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's only on Friday today because of Big Brother yesterday and the scheduling with the exit interviews of Big Brother Canada. But if you didn't know, check out all of our Big Brother content over on our website, yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan for the BB Can. But you can, of course, find these shows back there later as well. If you're watching back and want to see us do these shows live, make sure you become a fan over on YouNow, yourrealityrecaps.com/YouNow. You'll get alerted when we go live. We're live every single day of the week, so make sure you become a fan over there. If you want to help support our shows, consider becoming a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only group, prize giveaways, weekly shows just for patrons. It'll help us get to Canada for the finale. And you get the exclusive after shows with the BB Can House guests, and maybe we'll have one or two for Amazing Race too. Of course, you can always do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal to help support our shows, or if you have any Amazon shopping to do, yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon to start your shopping is a great way to help support us too. Look, I cannot talk Amazing Race without the person who refused to do Amazing Race with me. It's Comedy Jonah! Hi, John Richardson.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be recapping Amazing Race again because what an amazing cast. I'm super excited.
I am super excited as well. Now, John, do you remember when they asked us to be on the social edition of the Amazing Race and you refused?
Right. It was me.
It was you, because you were like, I can't do any of those challenges and I would be an embarrassment on television.
Totally. And I was all broken. I break my feet. I have all these incidences.
Do you hold it against me that we did not go on Amazing Race, John Richardson?
You know, after this episode, seeing Art and JJ, I don't hold it against you anymore.
You would not have been able to make it up, said slip and slide?
I don't know if I could. I think I can make it up, but I'm around the same age as them, so I don't know.
Yeah, but that was like 5 years ago they asked us. That was like 5 years ago.
True. Very true.
I didn't have a metal leg 5 years ago.
That is very true. It's not bionic. You should have asked for the bionic one.
And 5 years ago, you would have known not to wear vertical stripes. So, let's go ahead and talk. I think we should talk a little bit about the people first before we talk about the episode, John.
Good.
So, why don't we go ahead and first start off with, oh my God, one of my favorite teams, a Survivor team. Of course, I'm talking about Corinne and Eliza. Now, it's Eliza? I never know how to say her name. Like, ever since she's been on Survivor, I swear I still don't know how to say her name. But oh my God, how much I love them, John. They are like Team Petty to the max.
Oh my God. Listening to their banter and the things that they were saying about the other teams, like, that's Team Dum Dum.
Oh, John, what team did they call Team Dum Dum? Do you recall?
I can't remember. You know, that one name, I always slips my mind.
Would it help if I talked like this?
Nicole and Victor.
That is who they called Team Dum Dum, and not us at all. It was actually nice to see Nicole and Victor. I forgot that she tried to vote him out 3 times on their season of Amazing Race. I forgot that.
I forgot he didn't vote for her to win.
He did, yeah, I forgot that too. So that was a nice little part of their story. We'll get to them in a minute. Back to Corinne. I feel like they were the most like us, John. Like I loved how they were like, we don't have babies at home, so we're not going to be all like, where are babies?
We just miss our designer shoes.
And then when Rachel and Alyssa ran by and she goes, "Did they lose a bet? Why are they wearing that?" And then she called Rachel Lips. She's like, "Keep running, Lips." I was like, "Oh, I am here for them. I am here for them. I am here for them."
But you know what I love? Of course, I love the cattiness. I love it because I'm catty as well as you are.
Mm-hmm.
But, even like towards the end, they're just like all the people that we said were awful and this and that were ahead of us in the race. And so that kind of humbled them a little bit. But they're still hilarious. I'm so glad they're on this season. Like, as soon as she said Team Dum Dum, I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't get eliminated. Please don't get eliminated on the first episode.
No, I do hope that they are going to go far. And, spoiler alert from Twitter, depending on, because look, I don't think that we've been clear about this, John. I should let people know right off the bat. You should spread the word right now and tell people that we are live so that everyone knows that we are live, doing this show. Of course, become a fan here on You Now, but here's the most important thing. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you thumbs it up, make sure you're a subscriber, hit the bell. If you're watching on iTunes, 5-star rating and a nice review. Because here's the thing. You guys are going to control how much more we're going to put into this show. We're covering it all season. But what I want to say right now is I got all the information off Twitter, John. So I know that Corinne and Eliza are friends now with Victor and Nicole and Rachel and Alyssa and the people they were mocking. Mm-hmm. I just didn't feel like grabbing the tweets to pull up. I just did. We have enough things to pull up. I was not going to go and pull up all of the tweets.
Now, I get it. Like, we see, the Survivor people have a little bit more camaraderie, but we don't see the Big Brother people in this first episode really kind of work together and go, okay, we got to do this. We got to look good for Big Brother type of thing.
I have a feeling that storyline is going to come. But speaking of Big Brother people, how excited are we for Rachel and Alyssa?
Super excited. I just can't believe how great Rachel's looks after having a baby. I mean, she is wearing, showing her midriff, and it looks fantastic.
I think Rachel looks great. I think Alyssa looks great. It's going to be interesting to see Rachel play without Brendan this go round.
I think I'm going to enjoy it a little bit more. I love Brendan. Brendan's from my hometown, so when we met several times, we absolutely got along. But I think Rachel's right, and she even talks about it. Like, it's a lot different when it's with your spouse than it's with, your sibling who's also your best friend. I think Alyssa can put Rachel in check a lot more.
I agree. I think, whereas Brendan would tolerate a Rachel meltdown, I think Alyssa will be like, you're not pulling that shit with me. No?
It's tough to tolerate a Rachel meltdown. I think we're all...
I've been there.
I've been there as well.
Next up, of course, Rachel, Nicole, and Victor back now on the scene, competing for $1 million. I mean, it'll be a good start to their lives together.
Absolutely. And listen, I've said this before. I got a bad start with Nicole. But I haven't seen her in years. But, when we look back and she voted for him to get out 3 times, he didn't vote for her to win, and they found each other, I'm really happy. They seem really genuine and nice. And yeah. If that's your person, that's your person.
Yeah, look, I love Victor. I always loved Victor was amazing.
Oh my gosh, me too.
So I don't know how you could go wrong when you're with Victor. But yeah, I have to say of all, because she has dated the Big Brother people in the past. It does seem like Victor is it makes her happy. So that's good.
He's down to earth. I think he's more grounded too.
And he's hot.
Cute.
Yeah,
he's so hot.
No, he's hot. He's not cute.
So hot.
Tyler Oakley's video editor or whatever we're calling him is cute. Victor's hot. Okay, let's talk about my least favorite team in the whole entire world, who I can't stand more than anything, Art and JJ. I could not stand them their first go-round, and I couldn't stand them when I saw their faces on my screen this go-round.
See, I have taken a little hiatus from Amazing Race. So
Mm-hmm.
a couple of them I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I was excited to watch it this season because I knew so many people from other reality shows.
Right.
Just seeing their little clips that they had in episode
Ugh.
one, wasn't impressed. They're kind of military guys. They work for the federal government. One's Border Patrol enforcement. All I could say is I expected more.
Oh, I didn't. I think they're exactly the way I expected them to be. Here's the thing. For those of you that don't know, originally when I covered Amazing Race, I used to do mashup videos for Rob. And then,
Love your mashup videos.
and then I kept doing them here. But then eventually John and I transitioned into like, let's talk about the show instead of making a mashup video that quite frankly takes a week to make. However, in the past years, CBS has knocked all of them off of YouTube for copyright. So I'm going to find out. The Art and JJ season is my favorite season of mashups because I believe it also had Rachel and Brendan in it. And I believe it also had like twinnies in it. I'm going to try and figure out how to bring those back for people so they can watch them. They're just like short, funny little 6-minute videos that I think you all would enjoy. So I'm going to figure out how to do that.
Or just even put them on the yourrealityrecaps.com website.
They're on iTunes. The good thing about iTunes is iTunes can't knock anything down. And if you guys don't know, literally every one of our shows are on iTunes in audio and video version. John, do you know what I realized yesterday? Over 2,300 shows. Like other podcasts celebrate like when they hit 1,000. Most don't ever hit 2,000. We're already over like 2,300 shows on iTunes.
Really? Because this seems like we've been doing this forever.
Yeah, well, I apparently that's what forever is. 2,300 episodes.
That's the number.
That's the number of forever. You know what is the number 143 stands for? I love you. And you know who I love, John? Janelle and Brittany.
Oh my gosh. Me too. What a perfect team.
Brittany is my all-time favorite person. The only person who I've always wished I could get on this show. And I even have a feeling if she ever did do this show, it would be one of those don't meet your heroes things. Because I don't know. I just have a feeling like I would want to win her over and make her love us, but I'm afraid like maybe it wouldn't go that way. Anyway, I love her. I'm thrilled to have her back on our screen. I want Big Brother-esque diary rooms.
Oh my God. I'm so glad that they made up. I mean, even when they were on this I forgot which season of Big Brother that they were on and they were kind of against each other and stuff. I love that they make up. And the biggest thing I really thought was funny was that they go, it's Big Brother, it's a game, and none of us hold any grudges. And we know that part wasn't true.
Well, we know that part was not true at all. Let's go over to our next Survivor team, Rupert and Laura. How do you feel about a Rupert and a Laura, John?
Listen, when Rupert and Laura were on Survivor, Rupert is a gentleman and, he put his lady first. Mm-hmm. She was getting voted out. We saw a clip of it on this first episode of Amazing Race. He decided to swap with her. I was mad about that, but I get it. Because I think she was voted out in the next tribal, so it only lasted one more week, if I recall right. But, they're characters. Rupert's a character. I enjoyed seeing him, but I thought he was going to be the first to go, and I was wrong.
Rupert, to me, and now I don't want to lose everybody here. I don't want everyone to turn on me. I don't want to lose everybody here on this one.
As long as I didn't cause it.
Right. I hate Rupert. I shouldn't say hate. I don't hate anyone. Hate's a strong word.
Hate is so strong.
I mean, like, if there was, like, an audio cue for when Rupert would come on screen, it would be like, womp, womp.
And that's funny. He's a character.
No, did you hear the way he clapped back at his wife? He's like, don't ask me where to go, and then tell me that you don't know where to go.
I love her when she goes, look across the street, there's some light. He's like, it's over here.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. Yeah, I'm ready for them to go. I'm ready for them to go.
I thought it was close last night or the night before. I watched it last night.
Okay. Chris and Brett. Team Chris and Brett are from Survivor. Now, John, this is your wheelhouse, and I don't like your face. It makes me feel like you don't know who Chris and Brett are.
I know who Chris and Brett are from Survivor, and I know when Brett came out and everything else. And
oh, he's gay?
Yes, he came out on Survivor. Gee, you expected me not to know.
I don't watch Survivor. Everyone knows that. That's your job.
I know, but you accused me of not knowing, and look at me knowing.
Okay, then hold on. Let me try and figure out.
They even said it last night in the episode about kind of coming out, and Chris like, I don't care. I'm a ginger. I'm a masculine ginger, and you're my buddy. Yeah.
Okay, so short tan one is the gay one?
Yes.
I guess he has gay face.
He's not. He's very butch. He's very masculine.
I don't care for either one. That's probably why I didn't care when they were talking.
It's probably why you overlooked it and just went over here.
Pretty much.
Okay. Head.
So then are you excited to see them race?
I'm excited. I mean, I like them. I didn't expect them to be paired up. I knew that they kind of got close on Survivor, but I didn't think about them staying in touch, but I'm glad to see them.
Okay. Now, this next team, an Amazing Race team, Becca and Floyd. Look, I think people know this as I started the show and said, John and I have not covered Amazing Race, honestly, since the last time Rachel played. Because I was not a fan of what I learned of Amazing Race. So
we're not going to go there.
And we're not even going to talk about it, but you should watch the show.
Keep it upbeat. Keep that balloon in the air. Keep that balloon in the air.
You should watch the show called Allegedly that our last Amazing Race show we ever did.
Do it in 6 weeks after the season's over.
Don't tell anyone about it. So my point is, I don't know who they are.
I thought Becca and Floyd, we saw their, we got their little get-to-know clips.
Uh-huh.
I thought they were adorable. I love the rapping. I love that Floyd can't even ride a bike. They're kind of the goofy couple, and I just think they're adorbs. I like them. I'm glad to see them.
I do want to see more from them. I like a young racing team, so I can't wait to see them. Who I loved and was thrilled is back on the race is our Afghanimals.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I didn't recognize him because Jamal had all that hair the last time we saw him on Amazing Race.
I know.
I love them. I was super excited to see them. I love their energy. I didn't realize how much I missed them until I watched them on the show.
I totally
fun. And I'm like, I missed you.
I forgot when they, showed their little package of their time on the race. I forgot when they were running through the streets going, our wife is pregnant. Our wife is pregnant.
Oh my God. And they do similar stuff in this first episode too that is hilarious.
Oh, I cannot wait. Then another team who must have come along in that intermission of when I did not watch this, Colin and Christy.
Barbie and Ken.
Apparently he was a big hothead on his original season.
I love the out clip of him just throwing.
I hate you. That's always a great thing to say to your wife on television for your kids to watch.
But now there's Zen. Namaste.
Please, I give them 2 episodes before he's like, I hate you. I wish I never married you. You're the devil.
Just go in the cabin, balance your chakras, Colin. It's okay.
You're lucky you birthed my children or you'd be dead. No, that shit's coming out. Oh, it is happening. And then lastly, perhaps after the Big Brother teams, my most favorite team, one of my most favorite people that I just love, and I'm so happy he's back on Amazing Race, Tyler Oakley is racing. YouTube superstar and sensation. I mean, he's done so much more than YouTube at this point, but I just love Tyler Oakley, and I am so glad to see him back on the race. We would have raced with him if we would have done the social season.
I know, the social media season,
Maybe they should have told me that, and I would have been more in.
It wasn't just enough that I was going to be there.
No. Mm-mm.
Apparently.
All right, so that's kind of, that's kind of, I would say, our initial reaction of the teams. I did love watching them all kind of like, first do the run on in on the scene, watching the teams coming on in and being like, oh, look at them. They're all here. We find out they start in LA. I feel like they always start in LA. I feel whether it's like that observation tower or I feel like it's always LA that they are, will start the leg of a race in.
Oh yeah, I mean they all usually start in LA, but they started in like Hermosa Beach, which is like almost an hour and a half from LA.
Right. Now we saw giant octopus sand sculpture. They had to go dig in there for a clue, and at first I was like, I thought Nicole was racing. Why is she on? So I'm totally kidding. It is still comedic recaps.
It is still comedic.
It is still comedic recaps. No. So I want to know, how did they build that sand sculpture to put the clues in? Like, I guess they had to put the clues in while they were building it. I mean, obviously, but
let's pretend it was a cake.
Okay.
How would you put the clues in? You had to put it in before you bake it, right?
No, I would, if I was making a cake, I would go like this. Boop, boop, boop. Mom, I want a cake, and I need clues in it. Okay, bye. That's how I make a cake. How do you make a cake?
That answers so much about you.
How does that make a cake? I mean, you make a cake. Who's making a cake?
Anyway, it was amazing. It was the octopus was so much bigger than I thought it was. And all I could think was, how long did it take to make that? Like, how many sculptors were on it? I mean, it was a work of art when you really looked at it.
It really was. It was absolutely beautiful. I was blown away by how it looked. What did not blow me away, or surprised me, was Rachel and Alyssa, first team to find a clue. Victor and Nicole, second team to find a clue, followed by Rupert and Laura. First 3 teams to find clues and head off. Now, do you think it's like, do you have to be like a mom? I feel like those are all beachy people, is my point. I feel like Rachel and Alyssa are probably very much like beach people. Clearly, Rupert lived on an island for a while. Nicole and Victor look like they enjoy a beach. I feel like the beach people understood how to deconstruct a sand sculpture, is what I'm saying.
Just because you live in LA doesn't mean you're most likely a beach person. But what I thought was interesting about what you're saying is they found the clues more in each tentacle rather than jumping on top of the head trying to bore down into it.
Right. Stay along the outer perimeter when you are destroying your...
That can go for so many things. Stay along the outer perimeter.
Stay along the outer perimeter. I see Annie in chat says, I think it was more luck than anything. And speaking of, I am now paying attention to you, chat. And feel free to tweet us comments, too, with hashtag YRRLive. I can pull them right up if you do. Art and JJ, the last team to find this clue. I felt like this was a horrible foreshadowing. I'm like, if you cannot walk 4 feet and dig in the sand to find a clue, horrible human beings, how are you ever going to survive this race? I mean, maybe if someone was like, hey, Art, there's a Mexican got through the wall and they're under the squid, then I bet Art would have found it real quick.
Listen, Art and JJ are here to make Amazing Race great again.
They're here to make something. They're definitely here to make something, that's for sure. Right. Miss Jenny Talley says, I'm surprised his calves didn't seize up in the sand. Oh, we are going to get there. So,
surprised they didn't seize up when he just sat up.
Exactly. So, first clue, we find out that they are off to Tokyo, John. Is there any fun things that you know about Tokyo? Have you ever been to Tokyo?
I've had a layover from Singapore to Tokyo.
And what did you do there?
I sat in the airport.
You didn't go to like one of those bathhouses?
No, it wasn't that long of a layover. And what do you mean a
Oh, am
bathhouse?
I thinking of Thailand?
I don't know what you're. I don't go to bathhouses anywhere.
I'm just saying that there are people in
No.
other countries that would be attracted to us, John, because we are of a larger size. People who might not be attracted to us in our homelands.
We're both married, so who cares?
But John, you know the saying, what happens in a Tokyo layover stays in a Tokyo layover.
Well, besides me being able to buy gum again because they don't allow gum in Singapore, that's about the hottest thing I did.
They don't allow gum?
In Singapore.
Really?
They confiscated it when I was in the airport. It's against
Why?
the law to chew gum. Because they don't want it on their sidewalks. Singapore's really clean. I mean, you can like walk on their concrete barefooted and not think anything of it. I didn't, but it's clean.
Interesting. Okay, so we
Learning
see
so much.
we see that the teams now that they have landed in Tokyo, they have to find ABC Security or Tokyo restaurant with limited clues at each place.
Here's my question.
Okay.
Question 12.
Okay.
No one speaks English, yet
Right.
the names are in English.
Oh, John, people 100% speak English.
Oh, I know. But I mean, what was it? Finally, somebody got the map and like widened it. Went, oh, it's right. Finally, someone did that. But running around, you speak English, speak A, B, especially if it's in another language that you don't know. Like, I know a little bit of Spanish, and if I was in, Mexico, and somebody said, "Well, where's this?" I could probably guide them to it if I knew it, kind of thing.
Right.
So ABC Locksmith and Tokyo restaurant, yeah, people would know.
Let me ask you a question, John. Let's say that you are a Tokyo resident, which are considered Chinese.
No, it's Japanese.
Japanese, even better. So no, because my point is.
Why don't you call your mom who's making your cake?
My point is, the Japanese people, they believe in like respect and honor and
I think
stuff.
all cultures believe in respect and honor. At least they should.
Well, they should, but I know like it is very like a stressor that is put on them. My point is, if you are just walking along the street minding your business and you see a Rachel and Alyssa coming at you going, "You speak English? I don't want to speak English." You might be like, I'm not sure that this is going to be representative of my values, and perhaps I should pretend like I don't.
The young people of Japan love this kind of wacky American. They would love it.
You think they would love it?
Oh my God, outtakes and everything. That square in Tokyo, I mean, that's where if anything's going to be filmed, it's going to be filmed there. And so people kind of hang out there.
Oh, is that a popular Tokyo Square?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. Did not know that. Well, then good. I'm glad they love us. I would do the same thing. I would imagine it would be like being in New York, walking down the street in New York City and having somebody, be like, "Hey, I have a question." I'd be like, "Hey, get the F out my face."
See, where I, in Seattle, would be like, "How can I help you? Can I drive you?
Yeah,
Are you hungry? Do you need a sandwich?"
That's because everyone in Seattle is depressed, and you're happy that someone talked to one of you people. Just welcome to New York. We're busy. We got shit to do. We don't have time to stop to talk to you and help you win $1 million. Keep going.
Just Maine in New York.
Move along. I see some of you putting hashtags in. I see some of you putting hashtags in the chat. Just to be clear, you have to use the hashtag on Twitter when you tweet me.
Right.
You have to tweet me and use the hashtag YRRLive on Twitter. That is what allows me to pull up your comment. Okay, so we see Leo and Jamal are brilliantly staging a fake fight in front of the ABC security to throw people off because they know everybody is watching them to see what's up. I thought that was genius.
It was genius and it worked. And I think the one thing that Leo and Jamal saw was that the security thing was like a drive-up window, like the Wendy's window you see in the Big Brother Canada house. Like, it was just like, hi, can I help you? Do you need a tool? Do you need a key? Key made? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Right. Where here it's like a little storefront or whatever. So I think these folks being Americans and not understanding that it's just this drive-through window, and then like, and the fight was perfect. It worked. They were in first place at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect. I'm surprised people, we don't. I just feel
we would have done something like that.
We would have done something like that, but I feel like people really missed out on the great tips we used to give on our Amazing Race shows, because one of them was bring flashcards with you. Every single culture can understand a picture if you don't know the language.
Are you allowed to bring those, though?
Yes, you most certainly are. Well, back then it wasn't against the rules, but then again, the rules don't matter. They just pick the winner they want. So, let's go ahead and say, okay, Corinne and Liza. Someone in the chat needs to tell me if it's Liza or Eliza. Because I'm never going to know if it's somebody being like, Liza, or it's Liza. But I mean, she spells it Eliza. So maybe it's Eliza. I don't know why no one will phonetically spell it for me. And I feel horrible because I've loved her for forever. But we see that Corinne and her are just walking down the street and accidentally stumble upon the clue. They just happen to look into the building. And another hot tip for those of you performing or that will ever play in The Amazing Race, just look for the camera crews. Stop looking. I mean, look for your building, sure. But if you go back and watch, she didn't see the sign. She walked by and saw that there was a camera crew standing behind the counter and was like, oh, here we go, found it. So, a very smart move. A very smart move from her, indeed. Of course, then we see Rachel and Alyssa stumble upon it as well. And help out Tyler and Corey to find the clue. Now, my question is that a mistake or is that not a mistake? Rachel helping another team. She doesn't know what her placement is in the race at this point, and she's over there helping, Tyler and Corey.
Well, I think Rachel also knows that could kind of help her. This is the very first episode. Mm-hmm. You're just trying to finish and not be last at this point. And if you could be nice to somebody, I think hopefully it's going to be reciprocated.
Yeah, and I think Tyler and Corey are a great team to get in good with. And then Rachel can be like, look how nice I was. Sure, I'll be on your show on YouTube. Oh my God, more airtime? Me. I wonder if he ever did have her on the show. That is very interesting.
But I looked up Eliza for you for the spelling.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, that's what you were doing? I love that. Go ahead. Eliza. Maybe you could get an iPad from this century. For those of you. Oh.
Better internet connection.
Go ahead.
No, it's just still going. Yeah, you're saying it right.
Eliza. Okay, got it. I was going to say, for those of you on audio only, John is trying to get his decrepit iPad to play. Okay, so we now see that, the teams are finding their clues. They're off to their first roadblock called Who Wants a New Pair of Shoes? And in Who Wants a New Pair of Shoes, John? Well, go ahead. Would you like to explain what the challenge is? Go ahead.
No, it's those Japanese shoes, those wooden shoes that you see. Mm-hmm. And so they go into a room and there's like 800 of them all on different shelves half around this room. There's benches for the contestants when they get there to go there. And they have to pick the shoe, and they're looking for the ones made of chocolate.
And there's 12. I believe there was 200 and something actual pears, but only
So
12
many.
were made out of chocolate. They had to sit on the bench. They couldn't get up. The bench is like 20 feet from the back wall. It is just shooting fish in a barrel. I do not believe for a second that anybody actually saw which one was chocolate and which one wasn't.
I could tell on the when I was watching the TV which one. You could tell by the coloring.
But I feel like not when you're up close you couldn't tell. Like, for example, here is Tyler and Corey eating, their wooden shoe. They're eating their wooden shoe. I don't know. First of all, John, this is a great example of me not being able to do a challenge. As many people know that I've talked about on this show, I cannot eat a popsicle stick.
Why would you eat the stick? Why don't you just eat the popsicle?
I can't let my teeth touch it, and...
Oh, you don't like the wood.
Oh yeah, I'm trying so hard not to bite my own arm right now, because the feeling, I actually feel it in my teeth right now. But yeah, I could not imagine having to bite. I would be like, no, nope, can I use my fingers?
But if this was us and I had to do this challenge, knowing what the next challenge is,
but you don't know what
that?
I know. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. Next one, no problem. So
you're long. You're long.
Oh, it'll be so easy.
Just reached up and grabbed it.
Right. So Janelle ends up getting it on her first try.
First try.
We see all the other teams, yes, Leo and Jamal got there first. There were other people there ahead of them, but we're watching all these other teams trying to do it. Janelle literally strolls in and goes, back wall, 4th row over, 3 down, no, 1 more, yes, bring it to me, okay. A chocolate, we're done.
Oh, Brittany, I did it.
Did it first try. Meanwhile, Victor, 43 shoes, John. 43. Took Victor
43 of wooden. The wood, Eric.
God. And bless his heart when he was like, "Ooh, my teeth really hurt because I was biting the wood real hard."
Just to make sure.
I'm sure he could have just asked somebody, do I need to bite it real hard to break through? Am I going to know instantly when this is chocolate? Nope. Victor was like, I'm trying out.
They had to really bite the chocolate ones too. It wasn't just...
I don't know. I don't think you ought to bite that hard into wood, but whatever.
We watched Eliza biting them, and she was picking ones. She's like, oh, I already had that one, or someone else did. So now they're already getting ones that already have bite marks in them. That's where I was like, wow.
I wouldn't want to bite it. I wouldn't want to bite it after Tyler. It'd be just fine with me. So at this point, John, we find out it is taking Rupert and Laura forever to find their clue in the park. So, they found their ABC or their Tokyo, but it's taking forever for them to find it in the park. And we also see that the survivors are getting nervous. As you said, Corinne and Eliza are very much we don't want to be the first ones out. How bad is this going to look for our franchise? We're coming in at the end of this pack. How bad is it going to look for our franchise if we're a survivor that's first out?
Right.
I did not look good.
I was scared. I was like, no, you've got to stay. We need more Corinne and Liza.
Exactly. Art and JJ, not surprisingly, were the last people to arrive there. And the last people to finish the Eating the Wood challenge. I'm just saying, karma might be real. Now, as you pointed out, John, earlier in the show, we then have Rupert and Laura. Sorry, I know I said before they were lost in the park. I lied. Now's when they're lost in the park. And Laura is like, where do we go? There's lights on over there. It's the only
Look over there,
place.
Rupert. There's lights across the street.
Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch.
You're the woman. You shouldn't talk. Oh, my gosh.
Seriously. She was literally like, there it is.
Know your place, bitch. What? But Rupert...
but sweetheart, there's lights over there and the whole rest of the park is dark.
You saved me on Survivor, my night shot ever. There's lights over there. Know your place, bitch.
I'll choke you with this fucking tie-dye sweatshirt. I'll throw you into Tokyo. You'll make it out.
Just suffocate you in my hair.
I'm like, oh my God, Rupert, just listen to her. Like, she had it correct. Like, what is the problem?
Listen. The one point that I didn't understand was they were so lost, and it looked like they were at some kind of bus stop, and there was even no trees around it. It's just like, reread the clue, do something. Well, we're supposed to be in a park, and this doesn't look like
we're at a bus stop.
Yeah.
I think he was just hungry. I just think he needed some more mayo. Did you like when he was in the airport and he's like, sweetheart, do you remember the mayo?
They were talking crap on everybody.
Oh my God. Let me just...
Yes.
That would be like my 1950s parents. My dad would be like, I'm aware we're on the race, but did you bring the mayo for my sandwich? Do you have the mayo packets? We're racing for $1 million, but I need them. And look, mayo is very important. But he expects...
In New York?
Anywhere. I mean, he just expects Laura to have mayo packets ready for him at all times, is what I'm saying. Gonna fucking have mayo ready for me any second I need mayo, Laura!
You got the mayo? There's lights over across the street, but do you have the mayo?
I got mayo. Okay, so... after they all leave this roadblock, they gotta go move over to climb Mount Fuji, which is like a giant slip-and-slide mountain. It's reminiscent of the Japanese...
a Japanese game show.
It's 20 feet in the air. It's dressed like little Oompa Loompas, which... as soon as I heard dressed like a little Oompa Loompa and a leotard, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see Art and JJ in these. They always used to complain on their season, like, why do I have to get dressed up? Why do I have to wear that? Why am I wearing a leotard? Why am I on this show? Is there gay people in other countries? There's foreigners. I like to keep foreigners out, not let foreigners in. I don't know what I'm doing on the show, but I hate everyone. Why am I here? Oh, God, I can't stand them.
Karma sits in on his leg.
Karma has set in so great. I hope they choke. I was literally cheering on this part. Let's talk about the let's talk about the mountain. Afghanimals, first one to arrive and figure out we need to clean the wet off our hands to make it a little less slippery going up this giant slip and slide mountain.
Well, it seemed like Leo was having, issues with how to do it. Like, we could see that there were things that once you jumped up, you could hold on to. But it seemed like Leo couldn't figure that out. He was literally like trying to go up between two of where we could see where handles were. And I couldn't figure out why he couldn't figure it out.
I don't know why he could not figure it out either. I was like, well, what is happening? And by the way, I don't think that was the only technique you had to do on that one. I think there was many ways to get...
Exactly. Like, he was drying his hands up going, I'm going to use them as suction cups and try to suction myself up between the two handles that you could grab onto.
Yeah, I don't think it was a challenge necessarily for short people. Although I will say, Victor and Nicole, second team there. Now, the teams that did the bite the wood were not allowed to do the climb the mountain.
It had to be the other one.
So Nicole had to do it.
Yeah.
She made it up there very easily, it seemed like. She was a little bit clumsy on the way down, but I feel like that's a Nicole edit. I feel like that's what she got in Big Brother too, like a clumsy falling down edit.
Well, like a kooky edit.
Yeah, like a kooky edit.
She's kooky. But it seemed like she understood how to get up Mount Fuji better than Leo did. Like, we just saw him struggle a little bit.
Nicole went right up. I feel like Nicole did it the easiest way. I see Debbie Dawn in chat is saying using the toe holes to put your hands in was a good technique. I do.
I think is the only technique.
Yeah, I mean,
how else would you do it? Unless you're Becca and you just climb the side of it like.
Yeah, I mean,
like a spider or something or whatever the hell she did.
I was floored by that. Yeah. She's just like boop boop boop. I'm right up. I'm like, maybe. There's
God, Floyd's just like, oh God, I'm so glad we did it. We chose the way she did because Becca's gonna get this in like less than 30 seconds, and it was just sideways.
Yeah,
she did.
I see over on Twitter, Janie is saying, are Janelle and Brittany insanely lost at this point too? Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yes. They're in some train station.
Mm-hmm. They're like, no, it's supposed to be here. This is where it says. It says to be here, Brittany.
Oh my God. Yeah, Brittany was leading this one, and finally, they found the sign where, oh, here's the park that we have to take a train to now to get to the park. They're
Right.
so lost. Yeah.
They did not get it. I loved how Rachel and Alyssa get there. They kind of do it, no problem. I love when it cuts to to them in the cab and they start mocking Rachel's tagline from the last season.
Alyssa did. Alyssa started doing it, which was hilarious.
Which was, the Amazing Race is supposed to be fun and
fun.
good.
I'm not having any fun.
Except that she got her own tagline wrong. Because it's supposed to be The Amazing Race, supposed to be fun and good, which is what she whined to Brendan on their season. But when they were saying it, they were like, The Amazing Race is supposed to be good and fun. No, you got your own phrase flipped all around. It's fun and good, Rachel. I'm glad I helped you with your own catchphrase.
It's just 2 words. That's the correct words.
It's the correct words. Now, speaking of, which one's the gay one? Chris, Chris
Brett.
and Brett. All right, well, yay, Brett climbed a mountain for the gays. Brett did it. Brett made it all the way up.
Don't you.
And then doesn't take the clue, John.
Doesn't know what to do next.
That is a typical gay. You mount it, and then you don't know what to do.
Don't you speak against our people. Sometimes we just don't know what to do.
You know what he needed to do, John? He needed to get a clue. That works both ways.
It does. Yeah, it does.
That was a good one.
Two.
That was hard.
Double meaning.
Double entendre.
Double-sided.
And he had trouble kind of getting back up that hill. He was like, eh.
Well, I'm sure it was just pretty exhausting the first time. But what I couldn't understand is him sitting there in that outfit going, what do I do? And Chris is like, I can't tell him. I'm not supposed to tell him. Why can't you tell him? You know why you're there, to get the next clue, right?
I think you're not allowed to help your teammate in any way unless you're doing it.
Maybe not push him up the first leg of the mountain, but be like, I would have been pointing down.
The clue. I mean, what did you think you were doing?
The clue.
Yeah, I just don't get what he thought the point was.
That's what I mean. I couldn't. Maybe it was just so much exertion from getting up, like he just maybe got a lightheaded or something, and was just like.
Is very confusing. So then we find out that, not then we don't find out. Then Corinne and Eliza show up, and one of my favorite moments from the episode is when Eliza is cheering on Corinne, and she goes, come on, Twinnie, you can do it, Twinnie, for throwing back to our twinnies, which made me realize how much I love them and miss them. So,
oh, I know.
Of course, live during the episode, I was like, hey, Eliza shouted out the twinnies, I miss them. Hey, Natalie, hey, Nadia. Don't you know that Eliza then jumps into my tweet conversation and starts fangirling over the twinnies and completely ignores me. I started the conversation, Eliza. Oh, by the way, I love, even if I still don't know how to say your name.
She is shady. She is spilling the tea, and I'm drinking the tea.
Oh, she's spilling all the tea over on Twitter. We'll get more into that on the next show. But yeah, I definitely loved seeing them. They were able to do it. Then comes our Art and JJ. Second to last team, because they have no clue that Rupert and Laura are still like, what's the light? Where's there a light? Where do we go? Do I go to the light, honey?
I love the bell. maybe it's around here. Let's take out our flashlights so we can look.
Oh my goodness. Let's take out our flashlights to find the light.
Then Laura says, well, usually it's kind of like a tall box, so it's really not difficult to miss. Oh, you shut up. You don't know your place. Where's my mayonnaise? It's like, oh.
It's been 10 years since you showed me your box.
Your tall box.
Need mayo in my box.
She gets shut down for the lights across the street. She gets shut down for the box being tall and hard to miss. I was like, oh my, what is everyday life like with
Not saying Rupert.
With this animal.
Can't at all. So Art and JJ finally make it up there. Poor little Art can't make up a slip and slide. And he got cramp in his leg. He was acting. I just want to be clear. People who have been fans of this show and have watched, our daily shows on YouNow have literally watched the video and heard the audio of my leg breaking in half while I then broke my ankle in the other direction. They can hear the bones break. You can watch it. I made less noise than Art over his precious little, I got a cramp in my calf.
Listen, I don't know what the spray was, like the hairspray that was being.
It's like a cold.
Done
it's supposed
with the
to
like just
makes it
like
cold.
Spray.
Because he's a toddler, John, and when you have to deal with toddlers, you have to distract them. Like, ooh, there's something cold on you. Your calf must be feeling better now.
Well, when you see people like Becca spider crawl up the side of that thing, or tiny little people like Nicole do it pretty good. You think, oh, it's kind of easy. And then you see someone like Art doing it. And this is my perspective because Art and I are very close in age. Then I think, oh gosh, is it that hard? Is it as hard as
John,
it was?
It's not.
But then Laura and Rupert find their way finally.
Yes, Rupert. Well,
Drupert, is that what you just said, Drupert?
No, I was going to say, well, first, JJ comes over and goes, Art, I've been noticing you literally acting like a child having a temper tantrum. I've decided we're not doing this. We're going to take the 4-hour penalty. By the way, 20 minutes later, Art is doing high kicks over on the bench in the park, so maybe you shouldn't have taken that penalty. Just saying. He's totally fine 20 minutes later. But they take a 4-hour penalty because Art's hurt calf was too painful.
Well, I get it. I've had a cramp before with exercising or running. I don't know what situation. We don't know because of the way, a show's edited or whatever.
Yeah.
But we also, Rupert's older than Art is.
Right.
Like 5 years older than Art is.
Yeah.
So.
And Rupert still killed it. Now, maybe it's because Laura is packing mayo packets for energy, and that's an unfair advantage.
Maybe mayo is the new spinach.
It's like
gives you energy.
It's like a little Scooby snack for him. He's like, up the mountain.
I think, listen, you get up that mountain and look what I got. Look what I got for you. A little bit of mayo. I'm going to get some mayo packages for the next show.
Well, you could. Laura is gonna be like, I'll take this mayo any day.
She has to. I don't know.
Speaking of mayo, now look, the first go round I did not notice this, but that perverted Maximus mom on Twitter pointed it out, and then when I was doing the rewatch for the notes, I couldn't see anything else. So you're welcome for those of you that, did not see this the first go round. God, some of them had giant packages in those spandex. Like Rupert has there's a lot, like Rupert might have used it as a rope to get up is what I'm saying.
I think we know Laura's one of the motivations why, if she gets shut down, she's like, well, at least I know I'm going to sleep good tonight.
Yeah, like he could sleep in the next room and it would just like probably push the door open. So I'm like, oh, I'm here, honey.
Well, now I have to look back at it too. I didn't even notice.
I couldn't look away. I was just like, it doesn't even look right.
Who else was gifted? I didn't think Art was.
No. The Corey, I believe, was all the guys pretty much were, honestly, except Art. And boy, they were sure zoomed in right on it a lot for that hurt calf.
I just thought it was cold. I thought, oh, Mount Fuji Majaro is cold.
Sure it is. Over at the pit stop of Atigo Jinsa, which is the highest hill in central Tokyo. Boy, they are really trying to make something happen with that. Highest hill in central Tokyo, and apparently if you make it to the top, it is meant to bring good success to you and your life.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. We see that the Afghanimals were first to arrive, John.
That trip that they won.
Yeah, I know. Where was it again? Wasn't it?
Where was it not? Oh, it was like 7 days, and
yeah.
Oh my God, there was like 3 different countries, and
Tahiti. Maximus Mom says Tahiti, and the chairman is from Tahiti.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Yeah, I mean, it pays to come in first in Amazing Race. Like,
I forgot all about that little travel elf.
That little elf is...
Or a little gnome, or whatever the hell it is.
It's a gnome. So the Afghanimals first. Second, Colin and Christy. The more I hear from Christy, the more she's kind of like that ditzy housewife to me. She's just like, oh, we made it, and we're more fit this time, Phil. Don't we look more muscular this time, Phil? Looks so pretty here in second place, Phil.
We're in better shape this season, Phil.
Because this season, we have Xanax. I was just like, what's happening with her? There is...
a lot of Xanax. I think it's time release. Like, she could take it in the morning and just release it throughout the day.
Clearly. Tyler and Corey came in third. I was so happy for them to come in third. And then Rachel and Alyssa, our first Big Brother team to place. Rachel and Alyssa holding it down for Team Big Brother. Yeah,
they did really good.
Gotta hand it to them. Fifth is the Becca and Floyd, that Amazing Race team. Nicole and Victor came in sixth. So good for them. Chris and Brett 7th. Janelle and Brittany 8th. Corinne and Eliza 9th. And then we find out it is now down to this Art and JJ, Rupert and Laura. Who's going to make it? It was no surprise. Rupert and Laura. Goodbye, Art and JJ. I hope to never see you on my TV again.
Rupert just took his penis.
Look, this is a helicopter. I need more mayo power.
Get the mayo out of here. Get the mayo out of your purse.
Just shoot the mayo in my mouth. Go.
Just shoot it in my mouth.
I can't. I can't. I have never
got up that you would think like the training maybe a federal agent would have or you know, and that's what Art is versus what I don't know what Rupert does. But you know, I guess looks can be deceiving because he got right up that Mount Fuji with no problem where, you know,
he did.
Art was no masterpiece.
No, it was horrific. And then we saw the previews for next not for the season, not for next week, but we saw like the previews for the season, which I have to say, I could not believe that they are putting a twist into the game where we see Phil say it is going to be a U-turn vote like Big Brother. Meaning, in the past it used to be the first people that got to the U-turn could U-turn another team.
Right.
Now they are bringing some of the politics of Big Brother and Survivor in, and now we're going to do a vote to see who gets the U-turn power. I like it. I want more of these twists in Amazing Race.
Me too.
I want more of them, and I hope that we will be getting them. Now, John, first, I guess let's start with, because here's what I want to tell everybody. Yes, we're going to wrap up this show now, but we're just wrapping it up for the YouTube people and John, but I'm going to stay here with all of you for a few, so you don't need to go right away. But first, John, where can the people find you on social media?
Everywhere at Comedy Jonah.
Everywhere at Comedy Jonah. And now, John, we're going to be back here, like I said, doing these every single Thursday at 7 p.m. It'll be the day after. That is going to be our normal time slot for these shows. And thank you so much, John Richardson, for being here and covering the Amazing Race with me.
You are so welcome, my amigo.
I am going to just boot you out of here because it'll make it easier for me to do the ending. Bye, John! Bye! Okay. So, again, I'm gonna stay on for you now people. Just let me end this for the YouTube people. And again, I will remind you, I'm gonna figure out a way to get our previous Amazing Race shows on here for all of you. The mashup shows that I did. I want to figure out a way to bring them back because I really think you guys are going to love them. That being said, I will see all of you guys on the next show, Thursday night. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Reality Recaps. Check out our website, yourrealityrecaps.com. If you want to help support us, become a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. One-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. Or if you have any Amazon shopping to do, yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon. Bye for now, everybody. And don't forget, I'll be back in 20 seconds, you know. Bye!